Hi, this is Kate Magic, and you're listening to the Raw Living podcast. Raw Living is Europe's leading raw foods and superfood supplier, and I founded the company back in 2002. In this interview series, I'm talking to some of the people behind the brands that we offer on our shop to find out what exactly is the ethos behind the company. Not just the ingredients that they use and the processes that they use to create the end results, but I'm asking them other questions like how do they show respect for the environment? How do they treat their workers and their relationship to the farmers who grow the crops? All the companies that we work with are putting huge amounts of dedication and commitment into creating products that are benefiting not just you, but also the whole ecosystem, the planet, the people. And with this series, I'm hoping to show insights into that. When you're shopping with these companies, you're really not just investing in your health, you're truly investing in a better world for us all. Today we're chatting with Hollie of Sweet Bee Organics. She makes a beautiful range of natural health, skincare, body care products from Frome, Somerset. Hollie, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
It's I'm so interested to chat to you about the business and everything you're doing. I'm such a big fan of the products, having only discovered them this year. How long have you been in business?
We've been in business for 7, almost 8 years.
Wow, okay. And how did the business come to be? How did you start?
I started it in my kitchen, as most things seem to start, by making sun cream for my little boys. I couldn't find one on the market that I liked, and that's kind of how it was born. I made it for them to put on their bodies, and then my friends were like, "What are you using?" So I made it, and then they used it, and they said, "Oh, that's really good. You should sell it." And that's kind of how it began, really, with sun cream.
Right. And let's just talk about the sun cream for a minute. So what were the specific things that you wanted to avoid? And, I think a lot of people think there's no such thing as natural sun cream that works. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yes, it's been a labor of love with our sun cream. Right now in the process of reformulating it because new technology in the organic world in Cosmos has come out. But yeah, so what I tried to avoid is as known hormone disruptors, really, which is in our chemical-based sun creams. So that was my biggest thing. I didn't want to put that on their skin. Had natural births, and when you become a mother, some of us go into our really kind of holistic natural journey, and that very much happened to me. And so really it was the ingredients, but it was also the packaging. I couldn't find any sun cream that was packaged in anything other than plastic. And
Right.
I know that, in my research that plastic leaches into our skincare, and I just didn't feel comfortable using it on them. Um, yeah, and I also, am a big believer in like the sun. And I don't think that we should block it out all the time. So for me, it was more, oh, what can I use on them when we're having kind of an extended day or week in the sun? But really, even now, I am a big believer in getting out in the sunshine at midday for at least a half an hour just to give our bodies the vitamin D and also our eyes. I think, in the morning, I actually stare at the sun. I do a little gratitude practice every morning, and I actually gaze at the sun for just about 30 seconds. It's really good for sleep regulation. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and melatonin production later on in the night. So the sun is not our enemy.
So you've got such an interesting range of products and you cover a lot of bases with the range, which I love. Maybe let's start with the signature product, the best-selling product, which I'm completely addicted to now and telling everyone about, the Sweet Sleep Butter. How did that come about? Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's actually a good story. So when I started my business, it was just sun cream, and then I actually got really ill, and I was diagnosed with a rare form of cervical cancer. And I took a holistic approach to healing. I had surgery, but then I declined radiation and chemo, and I kind of made a promise to myself that I would like really expand my offerings to the world. And so once I kind of went through that journey, I had the sun cream and I decided to launch a product called our elderberry elixir. So we were just really doing that. And our sweet sleep came about because my little boy Odin, he was, I guess, about 2.5, and he just wasn't sleeping at all. And he actually had restless legs. So I did a little bit of research and I found that magnesium would be good for restless legs. So I tried to supplement it first, and that gave him the runs and tummy troubles. And then I tried a magnesium spray. That was all that was on the market. And if I don't know if you've tried a spray, but they are incredibly uncomfortable
Mm.
and very, very itchy and tingly. And if you have a magnesium deficiency, it's even worse, right? So this poor little toddler was in pain. I had to wipe it off him straight away. And I thought, I wonder if I take the butters and oils in my sun cream that I've been making and I mix it with a magnesium oil. I wonder what that would do, if that would kind of tone it down. So that's essentially what I did. And I made my own oil, and then took the butters and mixed it up. And I put it on him, on his feet. And he slept through the night for the first night ever. And I was like, okay, I think I'm going to make this our next product. So I thought it would just be this kind of, you know, add-on to our sun cream and our elderberry, but it wasn't. Actually, it got picked up by women in the menopause world, and that was kind of it. It rose to the top very, very quickly of our offerings, and we had quite a big product range actually at that point, because we were getting into mushrooms and stuff like that as well. And that's really how it began. And now, I mean, yes, I can't really go a week without someone stopping me somewhere going, "You're the lady who makes me sleep.
Oh.
You're the lady, you help me sleep." So it's such a joy. I love that product. And it's one that we all use in my family every single night.
Yeah, just to say though that I sleep really good anyway. Like I really count myself that's a blessing that I've never had any sleep issues in my life. But I'm
Yeah.
still addicted to it because it's sweet sleep. It's such and it's the ritual of putting it
Yeah.
on your feet before you go to bed and how lovely your feet feel. So even if people have good sleep, it's still a wonderful product to use.
Well, it's so good for so many things. And I think we always giggle, like my family and I, because it's like, oh, it does that too. So, for instance, period cramps, it's amazing on the tummy.
Mm.
Anxiety, it's amazing on your heart space when you're feeling
Oh,
anxious. Weirdly, the other day, migraines as well. My partner gets migraines and he swears by it. But weirdly, the other day, mosquitoes love me, and I was bit. We were in Austria, and I was bit. There was a mosquito in our room, and I put Sweet Sleep on the mosquito, and they get really big and really, hard and angry. My little boy's the same. I rubbed it on my shoulder, and the mosquito bite went away, and it didn't itch. I was
wow.
like, oh my, I was selling this product for 6 years. And that was like it was just such a nice kind of discovery, because when you get those big welts on your body, like they're so uncomfortable. So it's one of those products that just, my kids always go, "Oh, you're gonna say put Sweet Sleep on it, aren't you, Mom?" With anything. "Oh, my earaches, rub a little bit of Sweet Sleep on it. It'll work." So yeah.
Can you just clarify as well? Because a lot of times when I'm telling people about it, they say, oh, I use a spray. So can you tell us the difference between using your butter and a spray? Because I feel like the butter has deeper penetration. Is that right?
Yeah, it really does with a spray, because magnesium is a salt. And when you make sprays, it's just basically magnesium and water. That's what the magnesium oil is, and it creates this oily, filmy, kind of textured spray. And because it's a salt, if you spray it on your skin, a lot of it will evaporate. So absorption rates, I mean, this is not scientific data, but this is me just knowing with working with the
Yeah.
product, absorption rates will be lower. Another interesting thing is the tingling, but also, yeah, with the oils in rubbing it onto your feet, and they're trapped in that fat, it stays on the skin longer, and you absorb more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My feet feel amazing because I always use a foot cream in the day anyway, but now I'm using a foot cream at night and in the day. And
Wow.
as I put it on, it's like I don't want to, your feet feel like pillows kind of thing. Like you don't want to, You have to just kind of like float. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and you don't want to get up. And like I know I am the same. And it's like once the sweet sleep goes on, nobody can ask me for anything because I'm not getting up. And it really, for me, I'm quite blessed like you. I don't really have any sleep issues. But what it does do is it stops the wandering mind. You know,
Right.
so for instance, I love reading before bed, but like with Sweet Sleep, I get maybe 4 or 5 pages and I'm like, so if I'm into a book and I want an extended period of time, I cannot put it on until after I'm finished reading.
Right.
Yeah.
You mentioned your cancer healing journey. Are you comfortable talking about that? Are there any things that you did, in terms of supplements or holistic practices that you feel really helped with that journey?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was such a monumental part of my life and it changed everything. And I really wouldn't give it back, to be honest, because it was so important to me. It not only from a kind of a learning standpoint and really trusting my instincts in my body, but also like, it gave me the freedom to live, I guess. Like I left my husband after that and I did things that I knew I needed to do, but were maybe too scared to do. So, but from a healing perspective, the kind of story went where I was diagnosed and by not a very nice doctor who basically told me I wouldn't heal this with herbs and magic, and he was really quite awful. But I then found an amazing doctor who was really respectful of what I wanted to do, and he was willing to go against protocol to just treat me as a person versus as just another number. Um, so I decided to have a radical hysterectomy because I had a tumor that basically doubled in size in less than 4 weeks. It was just enormous, and it just literally came out of nowhere. So I knew for me, I needed to kind of get that bit out so that I could then heal. And so they actually thought they got everything when I had my surgery. And I didn't use painkillers either. I used cannabis oil. And the doctor knew, but he was like, just don't say anything to the nurse. But for pain relief, because I can't like narcotics and stuff. They just don't agree with me, and it made me sick. So I then had the surgery, and they thought they got it all. And then about 4 weeks later, I got a call that actually they hadn't gotten it all, and it had spread to my lymph system. And they were very, very actively encouraging me to have chemo and radiation. And for me, you know, I I don't judge anyone that has it and it works for people. And I think that if that's the path that they want to go on, that is absolutely the right path. It's all about like what you believe, because I
Yeah.
believe that the mind is so powerful. And for me, I was like, it will kill me. And I had to go against my some of my family members. They're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I know that will kill me. And I was 36 years old and I was about to radiate like my cervical area, which meant I would never enjoy sex again. And I was like, I'm just not willing to do that. I just want to live. I don't want to feel like an old lady before my time. So I it's so interesting with these things. Before my surgery, I was searching for a holistic doctor kind of quite furiously because I thought maybe I could heal this without any surgery. I could save my womb, and I couldn't find anyone. And then once I got that diagnosis that it was there, I searched again and I found like instantly found this doctor called Dr. Kate James. A lot of people know her in the cancer world. She's
She's one of our customers as well. She's,
Hey, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, she's an angel.
Oh, she is, yeah.
And it's so funny because so many people know her in
Shout
the
out to Kate James if she's listening.
oh, shout out. She knows I sent her loads of people all the
Um,
like just call her. Um and with working with Kate, it was so interesting because everyone know like lots of people know her. And I couldn't find her before the surgery. And that just shows me that like I actually did need the surgery. you know
right.
and then there she was, like top of my search. There she was, and we spoke, and she gave me some dietary stuff to follow, but really the biggie was she taught me about functional mushrooms and using them in high doses to really rid any kind of other, allow my immune system to work in a way to get rid of what needed to go. And and it worked. And I still use those mushrooms. In fact, we now, those same mushrooms are in our products because I believe I call them my little lifesavers, right? They definitely saved my life and they're amazing. And really, she is the person that taught me everything I
Oh,
needed to know about them. And yeah, so that was kind of the healing journey. It was really attributed to, I think, getting your mind right, knowing, at that point I was like, right, if something doesn't feel right to me, I'm just not going to do it anymore.
yeah.
And then getting the right stuff into my system to get my body kind of supercharged.
Amazing. Well, well done. It's a brave journey that you've been on.
Thank you. It's funny. I think it was harder for the people around me than it was for me. And I especially so like my mom, she was amazing. She's in St. Louis and she flew in the next day after I was diagnosed and just didn't leave my side until after my surgery. And she's in the medical world. And so for her to watch me go, no thanks, she was like, oh my God. But now, now it's interesting. Now she would probably take a different approach as well, seeing what I went through.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe on that theme, you've got some interesting products which are really hard to find, those kind of products, which is the vaginal health products, so the steam and the Revive Balm. What
Yeah.
inspired you to create those?
Yeah, so the steam came first, and that was really inspired by my sister who used to work for the company. I didn't really know anything about vaginal steaming at that point, and she was like, "Have you ever tried this?" So I was like, "No, come on, show me what I need to do." And that was the beginning of that. And that is just so great. And I wish more people would. It's not a top seller for us at all, and I wish more people would do it because it not only makes you feel really good, but the herbs that are in it are really there to bring back, I guess, a suppleness to that space, and also um, gently cleanse the space. If you know, it was just it's just such a nice ritual,
Yeah.
and one that I think more people should practice. So yeah, I love that product, and in fact, I haven't done it in so long. You're inspiring me to do it. So I shall maybe this evening. But and then with Revive came about because we had so many women asking for product for vaginal dryness, and I was like, God, this is really an issue for women. And so it came about as a dryness issue on the vulva, and it took a year to develop because it had to be perfect.
Um,
I love that product. Like for instance, I was getting what I think was probably like a little bit of thrush, and literally 2 days of using it, all symptoms gone. And it's like, it just is incredible. And what I found is that actually the wild yam and the vitex berry, we know now because of HRT, it mimics estrogen and progesterone. And actually using it like a substitute HRT, with rubbing, you can rub it on the fatty bit. So either this bit or the inner thigh, it really helps balance your hormones, like a lot. So PMT or menopause symptoms, it's just brilliant. And I wish, probably would get in trouble about saying all this stuff because I wish we could say more about it. It's a tricky area, the UK in particular, about what you can say about herbal products.
it really is. That's partly why I do this podcast, because we say things that we can't necessarily write down on the website.
Exactly. I was actually on a call with some lawyers this morning around what we can say around sweet sleep, and they're just cracking down, and it's quite disturbing because
Is
yeah, like the pharmaceutical industry can just say whatever it wants. And I mean, don't get me started. We could go down a rabbit hole. I won't, but
we
you
won't. It's an important rabbit hole, and it is an important conversation to have. because
Yeah.
you probably know the regulations really got stricter in 2013. And so we've had like over a decade now of people not being able to get information around health. And the most disturbing thing is that people don't know that they're not getting the information.
Exactly, exactly. And I feel like unless you spend, and I'm sure you're mu very much like me, unless you spend a lot of time deep in research, it's so hard to find anything. And I think the saddest part is people like you and I who are trying to get really good products out to the world that work and don't have massive side effects, we're being squashed. These small businesses that are doing good for the world are being squashed, and it's just quite alarming. Yeah, and I think after, post COVID and with the jab and everything, it's just gotten even worse. You know,
Yeah.
it's almost like they're like, it's like their final fight almost like we're gonna really fight it now because more and more people, especially after COVID, have woken up to wait a second. I don't know if I can actually trust everything they're saying anymore because I'm really sick after taking a jab or whatever it may be, right? And I'm not really, this isn't, and so people are waking up and so they're squashing us even more. But
Yeah, but they won't win.
they won't win. And actually, the beautiful thing is, when I look at what my company's doing, it's growing, right? It's growing in revenue, it's growing in sales. So clearly, it doesn't matter, right? People want that. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, but it's a hard road.
Um, you mentioned the wild yam. What's the name of you have a powder with the wild yam in as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's inner wisdom balance, and that is that is my homage to Kate James and
Oh,
to my cancer journey, really, because those mushrooms are the mushrooms that I used, and I once I could go down to a maintenance dose of them. I started to explore what else they did, and that's how inner wisdom balance came into play because using the mushrooms with the wild yam brings this beautiful hormonal balance again. I mean, reishi is amazing for helping our hormones, and then you've got chaga, which boosts your immune system. So it's that product in particular, when women use it alongside Revive, they see that, like, especially women that just can't go on to HRT or don't want to, they see a significant drop in their symptoms for menopause.
amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
And tell us about tremolo, because tremolo's not been so well known. It seems to be having a moment right now. You've got
I'm drinking it right now, literally. Um, it's my favorite new mush. It's not new. It's not new at all. But yeah, tremella is what they call the beauty mushroom. And I love this. I love the story. Like they say that the most beautiful woman that ever lived in China, the reason she was so beautiful is because she ate tremella mushrooms every day. So it's got a couple of names. It's got a name called snow fungus, tremella, or beauty mushroom and snow mushroom. I mean, they, call it, it looks, in fact, this is so funny. I've got a dried one right here.
ah,
Yeah, I'll show you. So it looks like that.
oh, it looks like a sponge.
It looks like a
Oh,
sponge. And when you rehydrate it, it looks like an alien. My children love playing with these. They're like, oh my gosh. And it gets really, really hydrated. And why it's so good for the skin and the hair is because it holds, I think it's up to 4 times its weight in water, right? So, and it has loads of hyaluronic acid. It doesn't have hyaluronic acid like we see in kind of synthetic skincare. It has a natural source of it, right? So
right.
low hyaluronic acid. So it plumps the skin in the most beautiful way. And I love it. So we have two products with Tremella in it. So we have the Glow face cream that I use every morning. And then we have our Inner Glow, which is in and I usually mix it with just a bit of milk and take it as a shot. But I love our Inner Glow so much that now I'm like basically making these big smoothies with it because it tastes so good. Um, and what I've noticed in myself and what customers have noticed by using it is not only is my skin getting better, and I suffer with a bit of rosacea and stuff like that, and it's just starting to go. But even my partner the other day, he was like, "Your hair is so long. He's like, it's like a mane. And it's just really, taking this every day. And I just love that mushroom. And the beautiful thing is not only does it make us look beautiful, it is really good for your brain as well. So the polysaccharides in it are so good for your brain. It also has immune boosting functionality. So it's such a great mushroom. I love it.
Amazing. And the other product I really love, which I'm using every day, is the black soap. Tell us about that.
I love that one too. So I think just you're probably getting that how I come up with the concept of all of our products, and it's really like, oh, I don't like anything on the market, I'm going to make that, and that's how everything comes about. And yes, our black soap cleanser, that came about, funny enough, I was looking through ingredients one day, and I was like, what is that? And there was this big, it was in like a pamphlet or something, some supplier, and it was this big, oh, what's the word? Oh my gosh, mate, what's the snack we eat with the oats and the
Granola.
flapjacks? It looked like this big slab of flapjacks. I was like, what is that? And it was African black soap, and I was like, oh my God, this has a mix. So I started studying it, and I was like, wow, this has incredible properties for the skin. I wonder how we could make it into like a really accessible face wash. And so that's essentially what happened. We like ground it down and then we mixed it with beautiful oil. So it's actually an oil cleanser. There's no water in that product at all, which is so good for your skin. Like cleansing with something that doesn't have any water in it is quite good because when we put water-based products on our skin, it can actually dry our skin out. So, so it was a labor of love, and it's gone through a transition, that product. And we've got it to an amazing place, I think, where we've mixed African black soap with clay. So it draws out any impurities, and then tamanu oil, and I think babus oil is in it, maybe sweet almond. And it's so good. I love it. I love the way it makes my skin feel because it gets rid of the makeup, it gets rid of kind of all the impurities, but it doesn't dry your skin. And that's a product that I think really should be another hero product of ours. But we spend so much time talking about sweet sleep that sometimes we forget. But it's a gorgeous product. I'm glad you like it.
It's almost like a cross between an exfoliator and an oil-based cleanser because it's not as harsh as an exfoliator, but it gives it
Yeah.
that same kind of scrub feel, if you know what I mean. But it's got the kind of gentleness of an oil-based cleanser at the same time.
Exactly. And that scrub feel that you're feeling is cacao husks. And that also, cacao husks are amazing because they actually give it foaming properties. So when you mix it with water and you start washing your skin, it foams up. And I think that's quite nice for people that are making a transition. Like, I don't know if you've tried to transition to oil cleansing before, but it's quite hard sometimes. Like it's confusing, you kind of feel gross and you don't really know what you're doing. And I think it's such a great product to get you to just cleansing with oil.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time, Holly. It's
Oh,
such a joy to connect with you and I love so much what you're doing and what you're
thank
bringing to the world. And yeah,
thank you. You too. I really appreciate it.
look forward to seeing what new products you come up with in the future. Is there anything you've got coming up that you want to tell us about? Anything exciting that's on the horizon?
Can't really say, but yes, we do. We do have quite a lengthy pipeline, and we're in the process of building out our R&D team to be an even bigger team, so that we can get some new products to the market very soon. But you'll see something come out from us pretty soon, I think, probably 3 months' time, and then it should be you'll see quite a lot coming out because that's my passion is really creating these products and bringing more ideas to the world and hopefully being quite innovative with organic natural ingredients.
Thank you so much, Holly.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. You can check out the products we've been talking about by visiting Raw Living, rawliving.co.uk. And if you haven't got an account already, then do sign up. You get £5 off your first order. And also, please do like, subscribe, and share this podcast. It really does help.